built behind them. And he put a lot of disrespect out there for Mizzou, so you got to think that they're coming out to prove a point.
I've said it time and time again ever since the summer. Any team with chalks on it at least has a shot. We will see how the Mizzou Tigers fare against the team that has, I think you could say, objectively been the best in the West, as Nitrovity has to go up and get a save across the crossbar. Now AJC to keep the pressure on for Oregon. And when they met in league play, it was 3-1, Subi. Sorry to cut you off there. It was 3-1 to the Oregon Ducks. I wonder if they can keep it up as AJC gets the opening goal.
And this is going to be a big factor right here for Oregon, the constant pressure. And you saw how slow Mizzou was there to challenge that ball. They've got to come out of the box quicker on that one. But again, nerves might be on the line, but it's time to shake them off. The first 35 seconds have come and gone. And that was a dangerous kickoff there.
There we saw a pretty bizarre kickoff between Akron and Northwood last night in the Eastern Conference Finals. Turns out an Akron player, I think, had connection issues going in. That looked very awkward, but doesn't react negatively here for the Oregon Ducks. They do still maintain their 1-goal lead. Crims trying to set up Chalks, trying to bring this to the backboard himself. Got the reset off the ceiling, but could not get any further.
The right idea there. He was attempting to come off the ceiling and looked like he had a shot available. He also had a teammate pushing forward towards the top of the box. This is dangerous, and thankfully, Chalks comes out in time, and they've got a little bit of space, but Skippy is there to take him off the pitch, and this is dangerous, Stacks. Crims is there, but AJC so quick to get to that challenge.
Oregon had to wait a long time, but it doesn't seem like that long wait has deterred them so often, especially over on the college cardball stream playing the last match of the night. They're out to a 2-goal lead early against a team, Subi, that has played 3 matches in a row now in Mizzou.
And just might be getting a little worn out, but right now is not the time to start feeling tired, Stacks. They need to get a goal here to bring themselves back in this matchup. I know it's still early, but you don't want to let the first match just kind of avalanche out of the way, and that's a good way to start things off. Crims gets a demo, but no follow-up on this ball. And again, AJC just marching right down the field. He has pretty much the lobby full of points just behind his name right now.
That is incredible. Certainly more than at least Mizzou all combined. This goes right back to, guess who? Leland at midfield, but Chalks all over him. Nitrovity had to wait a moment to get the read off the backboard, and that little hesitation gave Oregon enough time. That's a bit of a double commit, and it almost turned into a great pinch towards the net, but instead goes all the way to the backboard. AJC blocked by Nitrovity. He'll try to get downfield now for the Tigers. They had a disappointing performance against LSU. First match of the night. They had to battle against UT Dallas, who certainly got a favorable bracket when you look at how everything worked out tonight. They played their way into next month's wild card. As this is popped up in midfield. Now Leland shot over one, but Chalks is there quickly getting back. And that's been the story now for Mizzou. They have been constantly just getting back in time.
Well, and I think it's boiling down to their spacing right now. There's just awkward moments where I'm seeing either all 3 teammates all bunched up in a semicircle or all 3 spread wide apart, and there's no challenge put on the ball when they have great pressure that's starting to build up. So right now, Crims has Nitrovity to his right. Nitrovity slows it down, passes to Chalks, but Leland there for the stop, and that's great defense for Oregon. So far, 3 minutes and 30 seconds of a complete shutout here in game number 1.
Nitro for Chalks, got around on the shot, but it's saved, and there's no follow-up from Crims. He was just on the wrong side of center. Now Leland's shot, that's high, and swept away by Crims. Well done by the defense of Mizzou, at least giving themselves a chance. Still a minute 10, still down by 2. And Leland is all over this. Second touch needed, and he's got it as he spikes this one deep into the Mizzou end as well.
This is going to be a hard ask for Mizzou in game number 1. Down 2 goals, and so far, only 2 shots on net, Stacks. Got to have a higher output if you want a chance at battling one of the top teams, as you coin best in the West in Oregon, as they're looking like they are just shooting the lights out right now and keeping pressure at will as Nitrovity. That's a good pass, but Chalks and Crims both sitting back at the midfield line. Down 2 goals, less than a minute to go. It's time to send the house.
Game score is not everything. This threatening to be an own goal, but Chalks will get back for it. But it certainly does tell a story of what team is not getting touches. And Oregon is just faster to everything than Mizzou has been. Another ball just popped up in the air. Mizzou struggling to maintain any boost control, so they can't go up and challenge those, so they can't get downfield. Oregon has absolutely dominated game 1, and it's no surprise they're going to win it 3-0.
Oh my goodness. Just putting on a showcase here as the timer expires, and I thought Leland was going to go for it, try and dump it in the top, underneath the top crossbar there, but unfortunately couldn't pull off the highlight reel goal, but still puts another goal in the basket for Oregon, and Oregon cruised to victory in game number 1. They made it look easy.
They sure did, and it's something they've done all season long. Yeah, they did go the distance 6 times. You heard Corelli talk about how often that this team had gone to game 5 in previous seasons, and they had mixed success going the full length of a series this season as well. But they are determined to end this one quick. Hey, if they end this one in 5, it will be a dominant performance here in this best-of-7 semifinal.
If they end it in 5?
Yeah, if they end it in 5, it'll be dominant.
Oh, okay. I get what I was like, wait,
you know?
what? Are we playing a best-of-9 here? What is happening?
Well, sure. You know what? You can play best of anything. I think Oregon's going to beat this Mizzou squad. They are determined. After that game 1, I thought Mizzou, if they're going to take a game, it'd be game 1 because they'd come in warmed up. It did not happen. We go to Forbidden Temple and see if they can stop this snowball from rolling downhill here.
Well, so far, the avalanche has already begun as Mizzou were completely outclassed in game number 1, and it's so rare that you see such a difference between teams this late in the stage of a tournament. But here comes Chalks. Can't find the mark as it was wide open for him, and how limited they were with shots in game 1, you gotta think they gotta have that one, Stacks.
Just Skippy now. Cannot get past midfield. This is better from Mizzou. This is what Oregon did to them all throughout game 1. Cut him off in midfield. Finally, Mizzou is the aggressor. Oh, Chalk's got a bump that opened things up, but not enough. The shot off the mark. And now possession to Oregon. That's a good read to get that ball on the side. Nitrovity, no boost as he tried to go up. I don't think he realized how little he had because he had no chance to get that up on the backboard. Now nobody's home, and Oregon takes advantage of a series of unfortunate events.
Well, Leland knows Thanksgiving's right around the corner because he just served that one up on a dish. That pass was beautiful. The defender didn't see it coming, and Oregon, all it took was just a mere second to break out of their half, and it results in a goal.
We've played 6 minutes. Mizzou has not found the Oregon net, and they haven't found the frame of the goal very often either. They could here. Crims couldn't get there in time. Just Skippy's in the way. And again, that second touch just to slow things down for the offense even more. Now Crims. He'll look to center. He's got Leland to deal with. Got around him. Nitrovity was right there, but he couldn't commit.
Oh, you gotta have that, Stacks. You gotta keep that pressure, and right now it just looks like Mizzou so hesitant to push forward. They're scared of those booming clears that are gonna go over their heads, but they haven't come out, and again, another opportunity thrown by the wayside.
Well, it is Collegiate Rocket League, and right now, what you're seeing out of Mizzou is a bachelor's offense. No commitment whatsoever as Skippy scores yet again.
And they're just making it look easy, Stacks. The passing plays breaking out of their defensive half that equate to goals, just something of beauty.
5 in a row scored by the Oregon Ducks. Here goes Chalks. He'll try to create himself because nobody else has been. Another ball just kind of bounces right in front, and Skippy will gratefully claim it.
Comes another opportunity. That's a great pass, and Nitrovity not gonna miss that one. Mizzou cuts the lead in half.
Boy, if they didn't score here, I'd end the series. This is just postmarked right for the net. Perfectly placed there by Chalks to get it down to Nitrovity. And finally, the Oregon defense, I think they were starting to get a little comfortable here, Subi. I think they were getting used to Mizzou not pressing forward and not having somebody in front actually go for the shot. Now they have to at least respect the Mizzou offense a little bit more. Here's Chalks again. Great read. Can he read this from Leland? He sure can, as that goes all the way across. And now Nitrovity is pushing up a lot more.
Oh, but a good challenge there from Leland. Oregon pushing out of their zone again so easily, but Chalks sending that one right back towards midfield. And what we need to see is a little better defense, but more importantly, better clears. And there it starts with that pass back down. Beautiful. All three members of Mizzou getting involved on that one.
Chalks all over this, trying to delay, let his teammates get boosted up and in position, but nobody is going to receive this ball. Instead, it's AJC setting up Skippy. Oh, Nitrovity waited too long, and Skippy made him pay.
Oh, baby, we've got our first hat trick in this series, and it comes pretty early in the series. Game number 2, Skippy puts that one on target, and all three members of Oregon just putting on a masterclass right now of how to play defense, how to challenge midfield balls, and how to score on offense.
During the pre-show, everybody said it's going to be 1 versus 2, just like it was in the East for the conference championship. And if this continues, it's only a matter of time before that comes to fruition. Here's to Skippy.
Oh.
In trouble. Crims picks his pocket, and Mizzou's right back in it.
Just sneaks up right behind him, gets in his blind spot, and Skippy thought he had a lot more time than he actually did, and Crims just pokes it right over his head. And again, Mizzou climbing back within reach of this game.
Not going away, and as long as you can hang around, eventually, something's got to give. You're only one shot away as Chalks gets this game tied up.
Bang, bang, just like that, Stacks. Mizzou puts themselves back in this series, and I love how Crims was right there in the box, got in front of the defender, and sure, he got demoed, but it slowed his opponent up, created a smoke screen, and allowed his teammate to put that shot on target.
A worthy sacrifice has tied up the game, but for how long? Does Skippy almost put him ahead, and Leland gets the lucky bounce out right onto his hood.
Couldn't have come at a better time, and this double tap was picture perfect to put it in the center of the box. And that's good pressure from Leland there. Zero hesitancy to push forward and challenge that ball. He knew his teammate was right behind him to cover that midfield line.
Oregon watched this game get away from them as Mizzou started to take control, but Oregon is right back in front, looking for a 2-goal lead. Shot's going to be wide, and there will be no rebound as that's thrown off to the side. Here's to Skippy now. Chalks. Oh, he couldn't follow that play up. Leland got a piece of it. That threw him off a little bit. Now Nitrovity. Does he have the reset? He did get this through, but Chalks had his shot blocked away. Now Crims. Tough angle, couldn't convert, and Leland just skies this up out of harm's way in the final minute. Out of the corner for Crims for the tie. It's blocked away again by Skippy. And Oregon can try to kill off the final 30 seconds. They did just about control the final 30 of game 1, and that one rings off the post. Oh, Mizzou watched this game flash right before their eyes.
And Crims just carries that ball up the wall and somehow wins the 50, and that shot's on target, but a little too slow. AJ was there for that save, and Nitrovity keeps the ball alive in the blue half. Chalks pokes it up towards the ceiling, looking for a defender, but no one there, and Mizzou have one last push left, but they have to get the ball down to the blue half. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Last touch here. It's going forward. Blue half, here we come, and AJC pokes it down. Stacks, we have a picture-perfect pass, but AJC cuts it off, and Oregon take game number 2.
It was not easy for them. Coming down the stretch, Mizzou finally woke up. I mean, it took them a good 6 or 7 minutes to finally get one on the board, but when they did, they were able to get into the middle of the field and really challenge the Oregon goalkeepers, challenge them to rotate back into net, and when they didn't, Mizzou made them pay. Let's see now if Oregon makes any adjustments going into what could be the second half of this series.
I mean, it's crazy what putting shots on target does to your defenders, huh, Stacks?
I know, right?
It's like you force them to make little mistakes, you force them to move, you force them to open up that goal, and boom, just like that, you go from only 2 shots in game 1 to putting up 3 goals in game number 2. So Mizzou definitely on the rise as Nitrovity puts in a quick one here in game number 3.
Nitrovity, who easily had the coldest feet on the field in game 1, has been hyper aggressive, and he is cash money 6 seconds into game 3.
He dipped his toes in the waters and realized it's not that cold.
Now AJC is going to try to answer for the Oregon Ducks. They got a long time to tie this game up. Imperative for Mizzou to just keep piling on here. 1 is not going to be enough against the Ducks.
Oh, that's a great pass forward from Crims, right on the button to Chalks, and dangerous ball sitting right at the top of the box. But again, Mizzou, definitely one of those teams that feels more comfortable with 2 guys closer to the midfield line rather than having 2 push forward. And you're going to see a lot less aggression from them, but also a lot less goals scored off of clears because of that.
Mizzou, one of those teams that has not scored a lot of goals on the season. Just a shade over a goal and a half a game. They've been on fire tonight at times, but they're in a battle now with Oregon as AJC ties it up.
Look how quick this window opens up, and AJC sees it and fires it right on target. Great vision there to see the rotation. Slightly sloppy on the Mizzou side, opened it up, and he got the first goal there for for Oregon.
Skippy wins this challenge in a big way. It forces Nitrovity all the way back. They want him forward rather than on the backboard, trying to start the counterattack. Now it's going to be up to Chalks. He's going to come out of the goal and try to clear this away. He does so after Skippy was threatening. Boy, they said 2. Now Skippy beaten, but AJC does get back in time. Mizzou just could not push the ball downfield quick enough. Demolition on Nitrovity. It's all on Chalks. He got this to the backboard, but AJC, he came up empty. It's an opportunity for the Tigers. They still have not hit the net. They haven't put one on target, and they have let Oregon off the hook here with 3 minutes left.
Oh my goodness. Again, Mizzou, the accuracy not there. And that's got to be 3, maybe 4 goals now in this series that could have been theirs. This is another that goes down and up.
Way.
But Nitrovity there for the finish.
Boy, if this didn't go in, it would have just been absolute heartbreak. Hard to place it any better. And Skippy just could not get out of the goal. Nitrovity there, Johnny on the spot to finish it off. He's got 3 goals now for Mizzou, and they've got a lead. Getting towards the midway point of game 3. It's a game that mentally they just have to win to avoid being on match point so early in the series.
And I'm curious to see how Oregon is going to play down by 1 goal. Still plenty of time left, so I don't expect to see them make any critical mistakes, but it's always fun to watch a team try and fight their way back, especially when they're so heavily favored.
What a win by Crims, and Nitrovity strikes again!
A hat trick for the kid here in game number 3, and he cannot be stopped. Stacks shooting 75%.
We still got another half of this game to go. There's still time, but Mizzou keeps running it up. Can they get a couple more and maybe start to force the Oregon Ducks to maybe question themselves just a little bit? It'll be Crims all the way up the ladder looking for Nitrovity. Another pop over to Skippy. Boost steal out of the corner. They could not tie them up in their own zone, however, as Crims forced all the way back. To Skippy waiting. He'll turn around and instead will play this ball. Waiting for an opportunity to open up. Nothing does, as there's another big clear as Mizzou does just what they need to do.
Crims got to rush back, and a 2-goal lead. Don't expect to see too many easy goals given over to Oregon. You see Chalks rotating back. Very happy to just go back on that goal line, but the pass going to be hard to defend. Can't get there in time, and Oregon pushes back within 1.
This is absolutely brilliant. Chalks is waiting for Leland to just unleash a laser towards the net. Instead, he makes the smart, selfless play, drops it right down, and all of a sudden, Oregon's back within one. And that is why a lot of people think Oregon is indeed the best the West has to offer.
That's a nasty demo there to take the player off. Look at how much it disrupted these rotations, and Oregon gonna start setting up camp here, but Nitrovity has different idea as he can't make contact with that ball. He was looking for his fourth goal, but Crims there for the follow-up, and Leland sees AJC, but Nitrovity again, he is starting to get in rhythm stacks, and it has got to be scary if you're on the Oregon opposition.
Dueling demolitions from Leland and Nitrovity, but it's Nitro with the ball looking for Crims as he's battling with Leland all the way down the field. And now Chalks indirect for himself to Skippy. What a read. AJC looking at tie and said he has to peel off for boost.
I think he just had to peel off because he didn't have a good angle on that ball, and he knew he'd put himself out of position. Bates one, and Chalks almost got put on a poster there as Leland was looking for a demo. Didn't find it, and it leads to an open net. Oregon sent the house, and it cost him.
Nitrovity, I was half expecting a great pass spam as he steals this at the end. Yeah, that physical play finally lost in the chaos of Oregon pushing ahead, trying to get that goal back. Got caught out, and Mizzou may have just put this game away, but Oregon does have that quick strike potential. Crims will throw this off to the corner. He will not keep control. Nitrovity is there, though, and now it is certainly just the turtle shell defense. Leland blocked by Crims. AJC will try to center, but Chalks is right there. Almost bounced off of Crims zone. That could have been disastrous.
And this is, good save there, and another shot coming on target. And Chalks, what a read off that back wall, and just keeps the pressure up and puts this ball game out of reach for Oregon. And Mizzou going to get their first win of the series.
Yeah, Mizzou just would not let them out of the zone at times. It's exactly what Oregon did to Missouri in game one. Now they're finally getting a dose of their own medicine. Well, this is the first time anybody put up 5 in a game this series. So Mizzou's offense clicking when they needed it to most. They avoid going down 3-0. And now, as I always like to say, Subi, we've got a series on our hands.
My goodness. It wouldn't be a show unless you and I could bring us to a game 7, Stacks, and this is starting to smell just like we could be heading there as Mizzou starting to fire on all cylinders and finally starting to keep that pressure up as the tides have turned. They limited Oregon to only 2 shots in this game, reminiscent of Mizzou in game number 1.
4 goals for Nitrovity in that game. Put an asterisk next to the last one. He had stolen one from Chalks. He stole that.
Oh, stole it, and it didn't even count as a shot? That's nothing. What are you talking about?
Well, here we go. Game 4. Chance to tie up this series. Crims looking for an early strike like we saw out of Nitrovity. 6 seconds into game 3. He'll give way to Chalks. He can still play this if he can get up for it. Nitrovity circling around like a shark in the water, but nothing doing there. So it'll be AJC looking for it to Skippy. Not finding him as Crims will take that ball away. Nitrovity now could not center this, and Chalks and Crims were both waiting. They had to rush back, and that's a critical touch. That avoided what could have been a hefty shot on net.
Right now, Oregon starting to look hesitant on defense. They're unsure of who's going to go for what ball, who's going to go through the rotations, and Chalks just took out AJC on that back post, but great defense there from Skippy as the pressure is there, but Nitrovity, the speed is starting to show from him, and the challenges are so precise.
The game within the game, the demolitions that you see coming out, and all the physical play. AJC has got his head on a swivel because he knows Nitrovity is gunning for him at times. Hasn't got him yet in this game. AJC, well, this time gets taken out by Crims. Nitrovity set up for Chalks, and the Tigers are in front.
And that's what you call a banger off the back wall. Great pass from Nitrovity, but an even better read from Chalks. And the shot placement picture perfect in that left upper 90, and MIZZ starting to really turn these tides, Stacks.
5 goals and 2 assists for Nitrovity in this series. Now it's to Skippy. For AJC, redirect is set away by Chalked. Acrobatic reflex save, and Crims knocked Nitrovity out of the way as they both went for that ball, but Nitrovity got another touch, and MIZZ uses their get out of jail free card.
They can do no wrong right now as the team bump somehow put Nitrovity in the perfect position to get that touch. And here comes Crims as Oregon a little slow on defense. Here comes Chalks, and he gets another one here in game number 4.
Did he slow up a little bit just to win this challenge? Because AJC is going to get there. He pulled up a little bit just to make sure if AJC got a touch, he was going to get the dunk. It works out perfectly. MIZZ are on, what is the run now? It's got to be 7-2 over the last 2 games.
Yeah, and not only that, but 5 unanswered goals for MIZZ. Absolutely incredible, especially given the performance we saw in game number 1. I thought this was for sure going to be a sweep, and I thought it was going to be an ugly one at that, but MIZZ has absolutely put a smile on my face with their change of gameplay here.
Ball ricochets around, and what a clear by Crims. Netward on the Oregon side, but Skippy is right there for the save. Now, can he get anything going for the Ducks? Oh, he was going for Nitrovity, and as we've seen so often, left trigger just let him go by.
Nitrovity out here playing chess right now, and he saw that queen had a move on him, but he was able to get out of the way, and here comes Crims. That's a dangerous ball to get that touch on, and Demo takes Chalks out of the picture, but Crims is there for a great pass forward to Nitrovity, and so far, Oregon can't buy a shot. So far, just one, and Chalks gets his 3rd for the hat trick here in game 4, and all of them have come off of passes from Nitrovity.
They have. That's 4 assists for Nitro in the series, and MIZZ has turned the beat around. They're looking to tie up this series and send us to effectively a best of 3 to send somebody to the Western Conference Championship and to qualify for the National Championship. Oregon's got to turn it around sooner rather than later. Skippy denied by Nitrovity, who's doing it all on both ends.
Oh, and another good touch there to get that ball out towards midfield. And the turnaround for AJC from game 1 when we commented that he had more points than the entire lobby, and now is sitting down at, dangerous ball, but it doesn't find the target. But now AJC sitting at the bottom of the scoreboard with 92 points. Got to get more involved. His team needs him as Crims puts this game out of reach, and MIZZ going to tie the series up.
Boy, what a turnaround. You would have thought that if MIZZ was going to take a game or 2 in this series, it would be early on. They'd get maybe the 1st or 2nd because they'd come in playing now their 3rd series in a row. Not the case. They took their lumps in game 1. They lost a tight one in game 2. And ever since then, this has been a MIZZ practice.
And so far, Stacks, Nitrovity is playing out of his mind. Of the 12 goals that MIZZ has, he's been involved in 10 of them.
That is staggering. To Skippy, all he can do is just sit there and watch another ball over his head. That's just been the entire Oregon team. As fast as they were to everything in the first 10 minutes of this series, they have been infinitely slower to everything else the last 10 minutes. Crims throwing one up there that Leland has to clear away. And the only question now isn't whether or not MIZZ will win game 4, but by how many more goals will they win?
All of them.
As good an answer as anybody could give. Nobody expected this out of this series. There are some people that, okay, maybe a 4-2 result, but there are a lot of 4-0s and 4-1s.
Oh!
Looking at this semi-final as a ball just whistles wide. Will it be 4? Will it be 5? It's 4 in game 4 for the MIZZ Tigers.
I mean, just looking at my stat sheet, the complete seesaw of a battle between Oregon and Mizzou. It was all Oregon games 1 and 2, and then we just flip-flopped. And we saw 2 goals in game 3 from Oregon, and since then, nothing, nada. They have been shut out, and not only shut out, but they're having a tough time finding shots on the Mizzou end.
I mean, fold your stat sheet in half. Oregon's been a non-factor for the last 5 minutes. That's as good a game for Mizzou as we've seen all season. And I don't blame the Oregon side for just taking an extra minute here and just regrouping before we go to Wasteland for game 5, because this is a big one. Somebody is going on match point, 1 win away from meeting North Texas for the Western Conference Championship at the end of this game. There can be no more mistakes. The margin for error is slimming significantly. Mizzou and Oregon go to battle yet again, and it'll be DeSkippy leading the charge for Oregon.
That's the difference. Game 1, that would have been a goal for AJC because of the hesitancy we were seeing from Mizzou, but they're just feeling so confident now. They realize, hey, these guys are the best in the West. I mean, if that's all they got, we can take them, and it is showing on the pitch.
The Skippy down to Leland, and they just don't connect. What a read by Chalks. And Crims is all over this from AJC, just held his ground. He saw exactly where that was going. Now Chalks going to take his time. Everybody's waiting for Chalks to take a shot, but that errant pass may benefit Oregon even more. AJC has Leland all the way across, but couldn't hit him.
Yeah, that second touch really hurt him, and a fast break, but Leland makes sure it doesn't come out, but the passing play does. And Nitrovity and Chalks have been absolute money.
They get this demolition and think, okay, it's over. But no, AJC and Leland are tailgating each other all the way downfield. They just could not get back on the defensive end. And what a pass out to Nitrovity so he can score his 5th goal. Now Crims. Boy, looking for more.
6th, by the way.
Yeah, right.
I don't mean to correct you, but when he's putting up that many shots with that many goals, you got to throw out the respect for him because, my goodness.
I still have something against him for the stolen goal earlier in the series.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'll take that.
Leland looking for AJC, but he's not going to be able to get the outlet pass out to him. AJC was still too far back. Now to Skippy around Chalks and over Nitrovity, but Chalks able to get back. And this goes right to Crims. You don't always have to move forward when you're trying to get out of a defensive jam. And that's something that Mizzou has done all season long. They've been very patient, sometimes to their detriment. It is not to their detriment here in this specific instance against Oregon.
Yeah, you called it out. That was just a highly intelligent play from Chalks there. Hey, they've got the entire front half of the field covered up. Where can I go? Hey, I'm going to back pass into our own corner, and we're going to bust out of our own half. Got the confidence. I know we're going to do it. And Nitrovity said, excuse me, Leland, let me come through as AJC gets a good challenge. But numbers for Mizzou, but Chalks just off target. And my, he'd like another look at that.
Chalks has been a nightmare. You know, we can talk all we want about Nitrovity, but his late adjustments that he makes on the fly going in for a ball that just throws off the Oregon defense so much. This time to Skippy up to meet him. Nitrovity's shot on is going to be sent away by AJC, and somehow Chalks got to this. Got the setup, and it's 2-0.
Again, they connect again, Stacks. These guys are just nothing but miracle workers right now, and somehow just get goals out of nowhere. Nitrovity is the MVP for Mizzou right now, and they need him to just keep hitting every single shot given to him.
Nitrovity just beats Leland, ate a demolition for his efforts, but sure, he doesn't care. The ball's on the opposite end of the field. And now off the respawn, he can challenge this in the corner. And does so right through AJC, right through Leland. 2 minutes left, and the Mizzou Tigers are just running wild over Oregon.
Keeping this ball in the blue half, as well as Oregon starting to get low on boost. No one has over 20. No one. Oh, finally Leland got that back had, and they're all reboosted up, but the ball's going right back into their half. And that's the difference maker as well, Stacks, is their ability to limit how much boost Oregon has been getting, and it really prevents them from breaking out of that blue half.
That finish line was getting oh so close after game 2, and now it seems oh so far away. Demolition sets us up for Leland.
Oh.
It goes through, and AJC hammers it home.
What a fake. Oh my goodness. Coming out, and you expect him to just hammer that ball, but completely fakes out the defender, and it was wide open for AJC. And nearing 1 minute to go here in game number 5, Stacks. Oregon just needs one to tie us up, and it's gonna be, oh, I thought it was gonna be off of a pool shot.
Good grief. I mean, we've seen it all over the past couple of nights here in the CRL playoffs. Why not? AJC gets demolished, and Nitravity rolls it home.
And why not another hat trick for him? Why not? He can't do anything wrong, and Crims gets out of the way at the perfect time and takes the player off of the pitch. Mizzou, how do you beat them right now, Stacks?
You know, I think if anybody had the answer, Oregon would pay them for that information. You just can't. Skippy knocked into the net. The ball's gonna follow. No, it's cleared away by Leland.
Looking for the defender on that air carry. So hard to defend. That's what 1v1s are for, is Nitravity just keeping the pressure and keeping Oregon just pinned in their own half. And right now is absolutely when Oregon needs to find one. It's a good chance, but nobody went for the shot. Little miscommunication and a breakdown for the offense of Oregon.
That centering pass for Oregon so often has just lately not been exactly where it needs to be. And they have not been able to adjust. They haven't been able to make that quick reflex adjustment to get to that ball. This goes off to the side. AJC down to 13 seconds. Trying to get one in front for Skippy, and Chalk sweeps it away. Leland will bring it in. They've got to score here. They have a shot at a kickoff goal. Skippy could not contort himself to get up in the air despite the demolition, and that is going to do it. AJC is stopped. All that's left is for the ball to touch down, and Mizzou is 5 minutes away from a date with North Texas.
All right, Stacks, here we go. The underdog story, the upset of the playoffs. It's all on the line, and Mizzou, the table's set for them. All they have to do is sit down at it.
The glass slipper was simply passed on from UT Dallas to the Mizzou Tigers after Mizzou had knocked out the Comets, who were making their own run along the bracket. They'd beaten Arizona. They had taken Mizzou right to the edge. They got to game 6. They got into overtime with a late goal. They almost forced game 7, and who knows what would have happened from there. Mizzou finally got it together, and if they can clutch up on Neo Tokyo, it is all over for the Oregon Ducks.
It's going to be a tall order for Oregon as double commit comes out in the defensive half, but again, the wide rotations from Mizzou, they want to cover up that net and prevent those long clears from going in the back of the net as Crims. Good pass over to Chalks, but Chalks misses, and Nitravity trying to slow it up and trying to avoid Skippy in the process as this ball's up off the backboard, but great defense there from AJC.
Oh, AJC really made a mess of this, though. Skippy got that to the corner, but here come the Tigers again. Demolition, and it doesn't lead to a goal yet. Now it's dunked in by Chalks.
Oh my goodness, Crims. You gotta hit this one, buddy, but it goes off the crossbar. But alas, no harm, no foul, as Chalks and Nitravity team up to get that ball in the back of the net, and Mizzou just keeps this train rolling.
Running out of room on the stat sheet for Nitravity, who will get an assist off a kickoff goal as Chalks has Mizzou in front by 2.
And just absolute disaster coming out from Oregon right now. Letting a kickoff goal in when you're down early in crunch time. I can't think of many worse things, but Oregon, they need a goal now, and they need to find it quickly.
Oh, what a doink by Chalks to redirect this one in.
Where did this come from? Crims with that insane pass, and you called it, Stacks. Chalks with the redirect. You never expect that to go on target, but somehow he finds the precision, and within the first minute, he already has a hat trick.
Good grief. Chalks, well, now he's just feeling it. Now he's just feeling it. Nitrovity is up there as well. He got bumped from behind, but he's just too strong. No demolition. Now Chalks wins this off the respawn.
No
Crims
way.
is there. And oh, man, they can do no wrong. It is a TKO in the 6th round.
Oh, mama. Oregon is out for the count right now, and Mizzou just keeps on punching. They refuse to let up because they know just how dangerous Oregon is. And right now, Oregon needs to pull a white rabbit out of the bag of tricks.
Mizzou is outscoring Oregon 16-3 over the last 3 games and 90 seconds. Nobody has done this to Oregon all season long. Crims, oh, it was on target, and AJC barely got to that ball.
I mean, when I said it was, 7 goals to 0 for Mizzou, they're, on a pretty good streak.
No big deal.
They're absolutely crushing Oregon right now. I mean, it's incredible.
Well, finally, DeSkippy will stop the bleeding, and now the comeback charge has to start for Oregon. Backs against the wall as DeSkippy takes over for the Ducks.
A goal a minute, absolutely possible here for Oregon, but you've got to come out, and you got to come out swinging hard. You got to send the house, you got to play smart, but you need goals to win it, so you almost have to double commit on every single play down the field.
Oh, DeSkippy was chasing that one, but Chalks barely got a piece. This is awkward for Crims, but it's Nitrovity who comes across. It's an opportunity now for Oregon. That'll find DeSkippy. Maybe this is the guy they want with the ball. He's had the hot hand. It's awkward for Chalks. It's awkward for Crims. Leland's shot will get through. This drops right down. It's still loose in front, but nobody could go up. AJC, I think it was just left scratching his head there like, how do you read this? The ball just pinballing around up there. DeSkippy now has to contend with Crims coming from the roof of the goal, and it's finally cleared away by the Tigers. Not out of the zone, though, as Nitrovity let that go by.
Yeah, this is dangerous as Oregon is all boosted up. This is a great touch from Leland, but Chalks slows it down and sees DeSkippy there as that's a great 50-50. AJ put it up for Leland, but Leland started cheating forward. And Oregon still not done, still keeping the pressure, but still can't find another goal.
At this level and up, you do not see many 4-goal leads go by the wayside, but AJC's threaded the needle and the lead's cut in half.
That one didn't take them too long, just over a minute to get a goal, and like we were saying, Stacks, a goal a minute. They're on pace to do so here, and Mizzou just need to hold on and turtle up in their net.
Time will continue to tick away here. DeSkippy has enough to play this and stay with it. Got a piece of that ball as well, but AJC whiffed. It was awkward for him on the side. He still got DeSkippy all the way across. Now waiting in midfield. It's loose there. Oh, he had the read, but could not get a shot on target.
Oh, and that's a great pass from Nitrovity over to Chalks. Nitrovity didn't have much to work with, saw his teammate coming and said, here, young fella, go ahead and bomb it downfield. But Chalks put in an awkward spot, and Crims relieves some pressure.
Chalks had Nitrovity to his left, instead opted to go right, and he ate a demolition for it. Down to a minute 9. DeSkippy all the way across. He's got Leland over there. AJC looking to fill in the middle, but it just never got out there. He was looking to bounce it off the corner. Instead, he got it up near the ceiling. Chalks looking for the knockout punch, and it's blocked away by DeSkippy. Boy, it's a good thing Mizzou got all those goals early because Oregon has not relented in the second half of this game.
Yeah, seriously, they knew what Oregon had in the back pocket, but 38 seconds to go here, Stacks, and Oregon still down by 2. And it looks like it's going to be a very tall order as Crims is going to turn on that, and bang! 3-goal lead for Mizzou, and it looks like An upset is rearing its ugly head.
You know, I give credit to the Oregon Ducks. I mean, they could have just, packed it in and just said, all right, you know what? You got us at 4-0. They continued to battle with the hopes of qualifying for the national championship. But it looks like Mizzou is finally going to put this series away. 4 games in a row where they just grossly outscored the Oregon Ducks. AJC, Leland, everybody just having a real rough time of it. And Mizzou not willing to just give up on scoring just yet. Nitrovity, no, they just missed the mark, but it does not matter. Oh, Tiger, fight for old Mizzou as they go on to face North Texas for the championship.
And the clock has yet to strike midnight for Mizzou. They're trying to keep up the Cinderella story here. And Stacks, the West Coast has not disappointed at all. This has been so exciting. And had that have been a best of 5, I think Oregon would have won it. Yeah, obviously they were up 2-0 in the beginning of the series. But when you're up 2-0 and you realize, hey, I just need to win one more game, makes it a little easier. But the best of 7 always seems to be so daunting for some of these teams.
It does. We talk so much in best of 5s. The hardest win to get is that third one. It was the hardest win to get for Oregon here in a best of 7 as Mizzou goes 4 in a row and they outscore
a lot.
They outscore Oregon by 17-5. That is what North Texas has just steamrolling their way. When we come back, it is the Western Conference Championship. North Texas at Old Mizzou right after this.